Okay, so thank you very much. So I hope that you still wake up okay. Yeah, and I will take only 15 minutes to introduce EPIC in IEEE to you, as EPIC in IEEE is also one of the sponsor of this summit. Okay, so mainly today we here to talk about many of the startup with a good idea and then innovation. Okay, so if you think it in another way that how we could make all of these innovation and innovative products, okay, to be useful and also to be able to use like sustainably and then can solve community problem, can be used in community as well. Okay, so this is like the initiative idea, okay, from IEEE and educational activity portion of IEEE. Okay, so mainly this EPIC in IEEE program, we give the funding, okay, to university students that work with also with the high school student and also non-governmental organization, which is an NGO. Okay, so that it could somehow, okay, introduce some solution, okay, to the communities, and also yeah. And this is a signature program also of the IEEE Foundation, okay, which is a philanthropist arms, okay, of IEEE. Okay, so a little bit about me because she already introduced me. Okay, so mainly I'm doing also research in video technology, and I'm also work with industry as well. Okay, and then I'm with IEEE volunteer, so mainly I take charge in educational activities and in many of the committee in the educational activity, which is very important in the EPICs. Okay. Okay, so as I mentioned, okay, in EPICs, okay, so we compose like the team. Okay, so the team consists of university engineering students and also have a faculty advisors, okay, and also the high school student as well, okay, IEEE member and then the NGO. Okay, so we hope that the NGO would somehow link also to the industry, which also in part can support the project as well. Okay, so today I will give you many examples of the successful EPICs in IEEE projects. Okay. So it has been started from Purdue University in 1995, okay, and then at that time we have IEEE President Leah Jamison, okay, and then in 2007, okay, IEEE Educational Activity adopts EPIC, and we start giving funding projects since 2009. Okay, so to give you a little bit overview of a number of the projects that we have support. Okay, so since 2009 we have support over 350,000 US dollar and award to more than 90 projects around the world. Okay, so in terms of impacts, okay, is involved more than 300 IEEE volunteer over 5 continents and over 700 university and college IEEE student members, and also involved more than thousands of the high school students. Okay, so somehow the benefit of this project is impact, very high to 0,000 of the people. Okay. So mainly EPICs, like somehow is also bridge, okay, the partnership with the communities, okay, right, to the NGO, and then the student that involved, okay, and engineer that involved also, okay, also get educated, okay, and then also like high school students that get hand-on experience from this project will also have like the encouragement, okay, or some eagerness to study engineering, okay, in their futures. Okay. Overall, it is the project that provides very extensive experience. Okay. So in EPICs, IEEE, we support the project in 4 categories. Okay. First is one is accessibility, okay, access and ability, and then education and outreach, okay, environment, and also human service. Okay. So I would like to show you the example of the project in 2015 that has been implemented successfully. Like the first one in access and ability category. Okay, so this is from the college in India. Okay. So mainly they developed the solution, which is a sophisticated wheelchair, okay, for physically challenged residents in their local community, and this has been implemented and used successfully in the community. And then next is the education and outreach. Okay, so this is the student volunteer from Arizona State from US. Okay, so mainly they use the Lego Snake Kit, okay, to teach engineering concept to participate. High school students in the underprivileged community for the robotics concept. And in terms of environmental, okay, so student member from University of Johannesburg, okay, in South Africa, okay, they also work with the high school students, okay, from that University Metropolitan Academy. So they developed the insect monitoring system, okay, for plant protection in the local farmer area. Okay. So actually the SOUL project that Isa has just presented is very well, included in this environmental concept. Okay. And then next is the human service. So this project is from Calcutta, India. Okay. So mainly they develop the computer lab and courses, okay, to the high school students in those areas. So this is an example of the successful project. Okay. So highlight for the past project. So this is a very good example project that implement in the Cape Town, South Africa. Okay. So mainly the volunteer, the volunteer work with the local student and with the partnership of this Groundwork and Earth Life Africa, which is an NGO. Okay, so mainly they install the solar panel. Okay, because mainly the problem here is that it is difficult to have the hot water. Okay, so they can use it for hygienic in this children home area. Okay, so mainly the volunteer go to install the solar panel to have the 25-liter water geysers. Okay. And then another one is in Bangalore. Okay, so this project works with the blind, okay, so that develop some programs so that blind could play the mathematics games. Okay. This also involves quite a number of the IEEE students. Okay. And this one also in the US. Okay, so there is the problem that many times there is overfishing, so somehow there may be less population of the oyster. Okay, so somehow they develop the device, okay, that used to restore the oyster population, okay, in that area. So this is also very good project that in the partnership with the Nature Conservatory. And this is the recent project that has been published, okay, and then in the IEEE and EE Times magazine. Okay. So I would like to show you also some video of the student group at the New Jersey, okay, that they developed the virtual reality system to help treat the student with the poor vision. Okay, so this is the video.
Was actually a brand new program to me, and it works very well with biomedical engineering because our students want to take their engineering skills and solve medical problems.
I chose this area of study because I myself as a child had convergence insufficiency. One of the most common binocular vision disorders. The individual has a hard time converging his eyes as an object approaches, and if he doesn't converge properly, that causes double vision. The patient can do the therapy procedures at home, much more convenient, potentially less costly. The problem is compliance.
What EPICS funded is the beginning of a new virtual reality 3D game so that kids don't realize they're actually doing therapy. They think they're just having fun, but our intent is to have them actually regain their vision function.
We're hoping that by designing this game environment around the therapy principles that have been proving to be effective, we can see remission of their symptoms. It's a novel integration of consumer-ready and available electronics components with the Oculus Rift virtual reality headset that now has eye tracking capabilities.
Bug Eyes is a space shooter game where your eyes have to converge to focus on the bug to make them explode. It's training your eyes to converge using the eye trackers inside the Oculus Rift. You get to see if they're properly aligned, and if they are, they get rewarded with a point.
I bring to the table the knowledge of how does the human version system work. And they can teach me what is the latest and greatest in technology so that we can either further understand the visual system or rehabilitate it, which is exactly what our primary application is in this case.
It was very interesting to see how intricate the design was and how every little part made a difference.
We went through lots of designs and redesigns to make sure all our hardware fit in there properly. We can now measure whether or not you are performing your vision therapy. And then in post, we can analyze your eye movements to see if they've gotten better over time. Having this objective measure at the end of a game, really just putting a number to it, we think is going to really encourage patient compliance.
We're going to have to run several clinical trials to compare traditional office-based vision therapy to this new video game techniques that are being developed here at NGIT. Potentially 4 to 5 years from now, we'll know if this new software is going to be a useful technique in clinical practice.
Now, as we've designed our own technology, we're seeing that it has use in the technology space outside of just the medical space. And this is a cyclic process where the technology space will then get better, which will enable us to do even more greater things in the medical space.
I find it very interesting that technology can influence medicine and medicine can influence technology in that way.
The idea that I could actually help a child rehabilitate their visual system in a fun, interactive way, and it's Epics that gave us that opportunity to fund the supplies to really get this project off the ground is fabulous. So it's projects like Epics which are really vital to the next generation of scientists and engineers.
Okay, so that gives you the idea and the very good example, okay, of the successful project that has put into practice. Okay, so the uniqueness of the project, usually, okay, when we think of community service, okay, and then like the capstone experience is quite separate. Okay. So actually when the students do the project, so many times it may just end up in the laboratory and so on. Okay. So how can we make it extended, okay, so that it could be usable and we get the requirement for the community. Okay. So that is a uniqueness of the EPICS, okay, in enable this partnership between the participant and then the NGO. Okay. So the vital component of EPICS is the NGO. Okay. So this NGO could be local in the community, okay, that the project takes place, and then it could help connect the student with the engineering to the community. Okay. And then that is ensure that when there is the conclusion of the project will be, the output will be still in maintenance, that's sustainable in the futures. So high school collaborator in some case, okay, it includes, some case it does not include. But by engaging the local high school, it is, very important, okay, so that it could reinforce their interest to continue, okay, to learning the engineering in the future. So usually the project grant of EPIC is like from very small $100 to 10,000 US dollar. Okay. And then usually now we have the new website which give more information, so now we start getting more and more project proposal. Okay. So please visit the website epics.ieee.org, okay, so that you could, if you're interested, you could talk to me after that. The proposal submission, okay, can be done in the online portal. Okay. And this is some key idea that you need to think when you propose a proposal. Okay. So I hope today I give you information about this EPICS in IEEE. Okay. So like if you're interested to propose a project, please visit our website. Okay. So if Also, actually, our main funding is like IEEE Foundation, of course, and IEEE Foundation also like to have many donors as an individual, as a partner, or as a company as well. So if you are interested to be a contributor, please also in the website. Okay, you can get the donor information as well. Okay, so and you can sign up for this update and newsletter. So please remember this website and then this email if you have any further questions. Okay, so thank you very much. So this is the committee we just have meeting in New Jersey in the last Friday. Okay, this Nick Kirsch is a chair of the committee. Okay, so thank you very much.